for joining us today. As above, so below, we're talking about Venus energy. Teaching everyone, you guys, if it's your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. The ATRs are the African traditional religions by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. To each and every one of you guys on this particular channel, I'm here to teach melanated people that want to learn real conjure, real mysticism, and real magic. What's up, my Stormy? Thank you for joining us today. Sagittarius from Detroit. Then I got my Demetrius in the house, Gemini. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, thank you so much for your continued support of our platform. Not only our platform, but also our website and the donations and the support that many of you are supporting. Thank you for all the likes and the shares. What's up, Mama Susan, Gemini in the house? To each and every one of you guys, these lives are here from melanated people that are here. Okay, got you. Demetrius said got a meeting. Y'all know I'm coming from the money. I love the Lord, but I also like my dinero. So thank you to each and every one. What's up, Ryan? My Libra in the house. Let me say something. I want to say this to each and every one, and please do get a chance to watch the replay. This is gonna be so important. This is where I teach people universal laws. I do not teach my personal beliefs. I do not teach my personal practices because universal laws apply to each and every one. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, or you're a person on the sideline as a bystander, and you're trying to have a better understanding of what melanin energy, frequency, and vibration is all about. And whether you want to diverge into these particular practices or not is irrelevant. Universal laws apply to each and every one of us, whether we're conscious or unconscious, whether we are aware or not aware. I want to teach something on today because when we understand that we are biomagnetic people, and we understand that we attract energy. Thank you for hitting that like button. This is really, really important. And this doesn't have anything to do with working with Chief Apostle Ely. It has nothing to do with being a part of my membership, any of that. Universal laws affect everybody, whether they're melanated, non-melanated. This is the code of the universe. This is also how energy flows on the earth plane, how you ascend and descend, how you develop or devolve. These are all applicable to anybody, whether you're in hoodoo or whether you're doing comedic magic, whether you're doing any form of conjure that you have learned, no matter what your what I'm trying to say, domination, not domination, in the practice of church, non-denominational or denominational. Either way, this is something that I've been giving a lot of thought to, and hoping that melanated people, especially Black Americans, take heed to the information that I give freely. Those that have already purchase your intermediate classes in conjure, thank you so much. Those that have not, do yourself a favor and get that book, as well as for your Eglinton. I want to teach something today, and hopefully those that come back and watch this at a later time will really allow this particular video. Out of all my videos, I think this is going to be one of the most important, because it ties into everything that you're going to be trying to do and endeavoring to do. Whether you're on the receiving end of some type of blessing of healing or restoration, or you're on the person that you want to practice this particular tradition, whatever they may be, whether it's Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo. First of all, I want to say salutations to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjective. My subject is, on this day, it's also a day of my power. Let me say this. A lot of y'all that come on my live do not understand I'm actually legally degreed in biblical studies. I'm not just a preacher. I'm actually a degreed preacher. I'm actually somebody that has studied and got a degree in biblical studies. I've also am somebody that has been doing magic a very long time. I also understand the history of the religions and the traditions that I participate in. A lot of you guys are only going by what you heard. Mishandling and pulling scripture out of context does not do you any good, and it causes you to be an individual that shall be roasted in this life, because I'm a Sagittarius, my moon is in Aries, and my rising sign is Pisces. So especially white people, when you come into my life, show a tremendous amount of respect. And the reason why that is, you are nothing but thieves in the temple. You have stolen everything that you have possessed up until this day. The religion that you proclaim, you are not the originators of any religion. I'm going to say this again. Non-melanated people, especially Caucasian people, you are not the originator of one God, goddess, or any religion. You did not start any tradition. You only stole, emulated the tradition that other Black Americans and African Americans and African people originated. There's nothing original about you, not even down to your DNA. You were created as a transmutation from a Black woman. So I want you to be very clear that when you step to me and come into these lives, understand you're dealing with a well-versed individual, and that I know the history of your origin, and I have absolutely no problem putting you in check and dismissing you with shame. Okay? So I'm not here to deal with your inferiority complex. That's why you always stealing in line. Okay? Now, the subject that I'm going to deal with on today is stop grading your own work. And I'm going to say this again. Stop grading your own work. To all of my people that have been in the church, and especially the Black church, the reason why a lot of you are struggling in ATRs is because you're grading your own work. I'm going to be coming from James, the 3rd chapter, verse 1. Put my teacher glasses on. James 1, James the 3rd chapter, verse 1. It says, "My brethren, be not many masters or teachers." We use the word. All I can teach your daddy how to suck dick better. You know what I'm saying? It lodges in his throat and he be gagging. So I'm gonna have to, because I got a hook on mine, so I'm gonna have to teach him how to adjust to that hook so he can take that in. So it says, "My brethren, be not many masters or teachers, knowing that we shall receive a greater condemnation. So, one of the things I want to be clear to people, that when you profess to be a teacher of any said religion, any said tradition, whether Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Christianity, Islam, you have a greater responsibility than the average person. You have a responsibility because you're guiding people through the teaching that you're saying that is being given to you by the divine. Now, people that are out here teaching should not be teaching, should not be instructing, should not be getting advice, but you know, people gonna do what they want to do. But I want to explain why. Because you giving out information that you have not been given authority by your ancestors, by your Orishas, by your Loas, by your Nkisi, by your Mpungo. See, some things are taught to you and it's just for you. And when you release that information to other people, then you become responsible. You become responsible for their outcome, whether positive or negative. See, if people understood that they are also karmically responsible for anybody that hears their teaching and follows their teaching, and depending on how they come out, they are going to be responsible. Then you wouldn't be so apt to give your advice. You wouldn't be so apt to give your opinion. You wouldn't be so apt to teach people your conjure. This is why when you hear me say, I do not teach my personal beliefs. I do not teach my personal practices. Because I understand as a teacher that you have to have also the spirit in order for you to function in that said tradition. Then you have to also have the same measure that I have. So therefore, and you have to have the same experience that I have. See, teachers are, even in the natural, they are supposed to be qualified. They're supposed to be given authority. See, you can be a teacher, but you have jurisdiction just to teach high school. You may have just jurisdiction to teach math. You may have jurisdiction just to teach PE, physical education. You might be a teacher, but you just have the ability and jurisdiction to teach economics, wood shop. See, there's various of types of teachers out here. And those teachers should be sanctioned by the universe, sanctioned by the authorities by which they're teaching. If you don't practice Ifa, why are you teaching about Ifa? If you don't practice voodoo, why you're teaching about voodoo? If you don't practice Palo, why are you teaching about these things? There's so many people that don't understand as Black Americans. You're teaching about a God that you don't have a relationship with. I do not teach on my platform my personal beliefs because I have a certain mentality you may not have. And in order to do what I'm doing, you're going to have that mentality. This is why I tell people all the time, don't do what I do. You can take my teachings, but don't do what I do, because I have the understanding of why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I also can back up what I'm writing checks that I can clear. Because I'm also not teaching you how to be made ashamed. See, I don't believe in big talk. I believe in being able to back up, or your word being your bond, backing up what the things that you're declaring out your mouth. So we want to talk about this, why certain energy, frequency, and vibration is not finding you. Because number one, you're out here karmatically teaching people things, inspiring people in areas that you're not walking in. There are not many masters or many teachers. There are a lot of people out here on social media because of money that they are teaching people things that they have not been authorized, licensed to teach. Everything that I know I would never teach because some of those things are just for me. I have clear understanding. There are certain things in practice you cannot teach a non-initiate. It has nothing to do with your obligation to your tata, your mama, your elder. It is a personal oath that you take. A lot of times people are here having issues because they're out here grading their own paper. This is why I learned very early on in English not to proofread my own paper. Because in your mind, you're going to see words that you did not write on your paper, but you knew what you meant to say. And so therefore, you're going to see that you're going to see that comma that is really not on your paper. This is why your teacher proofreads your paper. This is why your elders look over your work. This is why your elders evaluate your progress, not you yourself. Because you're going to look right in your own eyes. I know it makes sense, but you're doing that. The reason why you got issues and attitudes that you should not be having, because you're grading your own paper. You're saying it wasn't that bad. That's all I said, all I did. You're grading yourself. You're not allowing the teacher that was given to you by God. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. It is not your responsibility. It is not your job to evaluate your work. It is the teacher's job. Whether it is Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, or Adjective. That's why I allow Padrino Michael, Eba Sando Rabasa, to look over my work, to look over my altar. Because I'm his student. I'm his disciple. And I'm learning up under his teaching. And therefore, when my teacher says, wow, beautiful, that's my grade. I'm not grading myself by myself. I'm not saying, y'all, I got it going on because I think I got it going on. I'm telling you what my Padrino, my Oba said about my work. When you, as a child, bring home your grade of your test to your parents, they're going to look and see what the teacher put on the paper. And based on what the teacher graded that paper, that's how they're going to address you. See, some of y'all give yourself A's. Some of y'all give yourself B's. Some of y'all give yourself D's. And some of y'all say, you know what? At least I passed. Who said you passed? Your teacher did not promote you. Your teacher did not say you passed that. And you don't want to hear that because you want to grade your own self. And that's why you keep getting into it with people and places and things. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you why things are going on, why things are happening, especially to Black American people. Psalms 32, verse 8. See, a lot of people think I'm out here basing my success on my own merit. I have people that evaluate me. I have people that look over my work. I have people that tell me exactly what I'm doing because I believe in elders. See, you don't understand that I'm not out here doing this on my own. And you think it's my personal opinion. It's not my personal opinion. It's the grade that I got from my teacher. And after I get my grade from my teacher, then I talk my shit. Not before then. Psalm 32, verse 8 says, I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with my eye. Now, If somebody has a problem with what I'm doing, they have to address Padrino Michael. Because he's the one graded me. He overgraded me. This is why you have people in authority. Before you try to check my disciple, you got to check me. I'm the master, I'm the teacher. If you got a problem with the curriculum, you check me. And I'm going to check you because the principal gave me the curriculum. I'm the teacher. I was hired to do a job. I was anointed to do a job. I was empowered to do a job. I can't guide you in ancestry when I am not the teacher of ancestry. But I'm a natural born necromancer. I don't get on my platform and teach things that I should not be teaching. Because I have a knowledge of something. Do you understand? I've been given authorization to teach what I'm teaching. That's why I don't go and lean to my own understanding. That's why I ask them what y'all want me to talk about. The last couple of messages, I was like, you sure? Oh, I'm definitely bold enough to do it. But are you sure you want me to put it out there like that? That's all I want to know. I don't mind teaching whatever. If y'all cool with it, I will rock it. I will represent it to the best of my ability. And that's what I do. Because they are going to be responsible for the arche that is necessary for me to teach and preach what I'm talking about. What's up there, my Pisces goddess in the house? Being able to be a teacher of a said practice or profession, you have to be gone through your own teaching. See, too many people out here, you in training and you trying to teach somebody. You don't really have a grip on root work. You don't really have a grip on opiate work. You really don't have a grip on mysticism. You can't yield that and will that as you so will because of your teaching. In order to guide and instruct, you must also be somebody that has already gone through that. You have also been somebody graded by another elder or another teacher. When Aretha Franklin says that Whitney Houston can sing, that means something. See, when you grading yourself by yourself, you gonna grade on a curve. I'm gonna say it again. Instead of you allowing the person that you're having sex with to tell you how well you did, you're gonna tell them how well you did. Because you don't want to hear what the person that is on the receiving end of your actions. See, y'all type of people are dangerous. You want to tell me how strong your root work is, but instead of you allowing people to testify how strong your work is. See, a lot of people think I just come out here and say I'm bad to the bone. I got too many testimonials that prove, that concrete, bring facts that I'm able to do what I say I'm doing. I'm not of my own opinion. The reason I say I'm a pipe layer, because where I laid pipe at, testified, gave me the authorization to call myself a pipe layer. Some of y'all got titles on you that you gave yourself. And you think because you can repeat or parrot what I'm saying, that makes you a pipe layer. You don't even have, you're not even in the office of Jack Hammer. Okay? No less than pipe layer. You cannot break up the fallow ground. Huh? You're going to learn something today from a teacher. Luke, the 6th chapter, certain man, 40th verse. Luke, the 6th chapter, 40th verse says, The disciple or the learner is not above the master or the teacher. But everyone that is perfect or mature shall be as the master or the teacher. I may not be doing voodoo exactly like my spiritual dad, but I am definitely a replica. I'm going to say that again. He told me to watch him. He said, you're going to develop your own style. But when my mother heard me working, she said, you sound just like that man. Even though I was doing different than he was doing. People gonna be able to see who actually taught you. And when you're out there talking about Chief Apostle Ela taught you, and they can't see my handiwork, they can't see my teaching on the inside of you. Let me tell y'all something. I got a young lady, and she don't mind me saying it. She been with me 30 years, but she do not represent my teaching. She can repeat what I taught. She know what I've been taught, but she have not lived that life. She understands my standards. She understands my likes and my dislikes. But she is not my disciple because she don't follow my teaching. She is not my sheep. She's a goat. I love her, but she's a goat. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because my sheep know my voice and a stranger. You follow too many other people or too many other suggestions to be a sheep. Y'all think, because the Bible tells about the sheep and the goat together. I don't pick and choose. What I'm telling you, if you were listening at my teaching, you would not be in a predicament that you are in, because I'm not in your predicament. You will be a conqueror and not a conquered individual. You will be free and not captive. There's a lot of people that try to ensnare me, but they don't get me. I'm trying to help y'all understand, just because you're around somebody that is a great teacher, don't mean you're taking them teaching in. Doesn't mean that you're following instruction. Doesn't mean you're following the guidance that they're giving. Because I don't have to make you do anything if I'm your teacher. I don't have to give you all the pros and the cons for you to follow me. You're not going to worry about what somebody else is saying. You're going to follow your guidance. But you have too many black people that want to gain this power and this authority and this acknowledgement in the ATRs. But nobody can identify their teacher. People were saying that I had Apostle Ferguson's mantle. It was a pastor that I used to be up under. Because the reason they said that, because I was exhibiting her teachings. When you are a true disciple, you're going to replicate your elders. You're going to replicate the people that taught you. Minister Mario, son of a church, told me one day, he said, I don't know why you talk about your mama, but you act just like her. I said, I ain't never said I didn't. I act just like anybody that has instilled any teachings in me. Especially my foundation. Why would I not represent or replicate what I've been taught if I'm truly a disciple? She's a mutable earth sign because she's Virgo. I'm a mutable fire sign. Therefore, I'm going to utilize those same teachings very differently because I'm a fire sign. But the teachings are there. You can't fool nobody. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all, stop grading yourself. And stop letting other students in the class grade your paper. That's not their job. It's not your job, and it's not their. Oh, it's okay. How somebody, a student in the same class you, gonna tell you what's okay? I want y'all to understand how somebody that's not a teacher or elder in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo. I was talking to and I talked to Demetrius about this. How I'm gonna teach Kimbanda when I'm not even a first initiate? I don't care how good of a student I am of the arts. I still got to go through the process. Some of y'all are willing because you read a book or books or heard some videos. You are so willing to give advice on certain practices and you are not a part of that practice. What's wrong with you? Nobody has promoted you from first grade to second grade, and the only person that has the power to do that is your teacher. Or if you got a collection of teachers or a collection of elders. Do you know why Padrino Michael keeps saying for me to crown? He said you can crown anybody but a child of Shango or Yimiya. Why? Because he don't understand why I'm not doing it. Because he into crowning. But he knows that I have the capability, I have the knowledge, and I have the experience to crown somebody. And he is my elder. I don't go out here. Sorry for being off topic. I'm preparing. I can teach. I have 2 Oshun. Offerings for Oshun. Let me explain this. If you have not gotten an opportunity, if I were you, I would go out to the river, and at least 3 rivers, and see how river water flows and why it flows and the direction it flows. And the reason why I'm saying that is to understand Oshun. You cannot understand Oshun just in a ceremony. You have to understand Oshun in nature and why we give her 5 oranges, why we offer the honey. And when you understand what honey is and understand her numbers, and then therefore you're going to have a personal relationship with Oshun if you're initiated. If you're a devotee of Oshun, then honoring her essence, you have to understand her essence. And the way you understand it is recognizing her in nature. Seeing as the petal of Oshun is one thing, but understanding how that energy or that creation of energy works in real life in real time is something altogether different. But I'm qualified. I'm definitely a Santero, but I have 2 Oshun, one from Minister Mario, he left me, and my own personal Oshun. And that's what I'm saying, people. You cannot give counsel or advice to people, and you cannot articulate certain things unless you're in there. And I'm still going to be careful about what I'm telling him because of the simple fact there are people watching me that are not initiated, and certain information they shouldn't have. So I'm going to be always particular about what I say on social media. I want to say this. Matthew, the 7th chapter, 29th verse. And my point is, just because somebody asks me questions through Super Chat, I still don't know if you're initiated. So I have to be careful about what I say and how I say it. So that's out of respect for the religion, the tradition. Thank you so much. You are quite welcome. And sometimes people say things, but you have to have wisdom because you still have to respect your practice. And you would know that if you were a real teacher. of the practice. It's not just these things that make you a son or a daughter of Oshun. Even though I'm a child of Oya, I'm also a son of Oshun. Do I have Oshun's talisman here? Because I know some of y'all got my talisman. I got Ogun. But anyway, no, I don't have Oshun's talisman up here. Matthew, the 7th chapter, verse 29. It says this. And he taught them as one having authority, not as the scribes. Now, scribes were teachers of the law. But Yeshua had authority, which means he had connection, that he was able to execute what he was talking about. He didn't just teach about healing, he was healing people. He didn't teach about delivering, he was delivering people. He wasn't teaching about casting out demons, he was casting them out. You understand? There are people that are out here in social media that are authentic teachers, and they can actually, what they're teaching you, they can actually implement that teaching in real time. There are a lot of people like scribes that they have a form of godliness and denying the power thereof. They are in Ifa, they're in Voodoo, they're in Santeria, they're in Lukumi, they're in these various of traditions and practices, but they are not connected. Let me tell you something. When you're a real cook, you're going to do that pound cake different various of ways because you're a cook. But when you are a parrot, a parakeet, or you're a person that mimics, you only replicate what was already. When you look at social media, you hear most people only I don't care if it's TikTok, I don't care if it's YouTube, most people are only replicating the information that they have been told because they don't have a personal relationship with the deity. They don't have a personal relationship with Egun, because Egun gonna reveal, yes, I want you to use this high John, but I want you to put this, this, and this. You're gonna see an authentic pathway in the same tradition, because that person is actually connected with those energies. And those energies are people that repeat or parrot or mimic what they have heard. They're scribes. Not scrubs, scribes. Some of them are scrubs that are scribes. But nevertheless, they do know information and they have factual information, but they cannot give you revelatory teaching. I'm a revelatory teacher and preacher. Things are revealed to me. I don't just preach the word or teach a word. I have revelation to the word. I have insight being given to me. Therefore, people cannot replicate my teachings because they are not inspired by the divine. They're not inspired by the Egun. They're not inspired by the Orisha, the Loa, the Nkisi, and Pungo. They can only do what they have heard. King and priest. Amen. I done tried to tell them that I got that from Madame Oshun. I done tried to tell them, but they didn't want to hear it. When you have authority, you're going to be more than just able to teach crochet. I'm going to use a wood shop. You're going to be able to show your students in real, or your disciples in real time, what you're talking about. I not only can teach you about speaking to the elements, I can show you I can speak to the elements. This is why Paul said, I did not come to you in word only, but also in deed, in the power of the Holy Ghost. He was able to execute his teaching. When you are trying to learn real magic, real conjure, you need to be upon a teacher if you so choose, that has the ability not only based off knowledge, but has the ability to execute that knowledge in real time. I don't only teach reversal work. I can reverse in real time. And I can reverse through air, fire, earth, or water. Or I can use mirrors or reflections. I don't even have to use a physical mirror. I can use my own energy to reflect energy back to the sender. I can use my thoughts to reflect back. I can use my own eyes, my physical eyes, because all the eyes are nothing but mirrors of the energy or light that comes in, and that's why it hits the back of your retina, which is your brain, and your brain is the one that deciphers what color that is, and that's why you see every color in that object, but the color it is. That's why I look blue, because that's the only color that is not seen. If you understand the science behind magic, then you can teach magic. But you don't understand the science. You just know you practicing voodoo. You just know you're practicing hoodoo. And that's why you're limited. You can only teach so far. You can only share so far. You can only exhibit so far. Because you're not a revelatory teacher. You are a scribe. You're somebody that read books or read information, and that information may be correct or not as correct, depending on where your sources are coming from, your reference material. But somebody that's actually a teacher and chosen, anointed, and appointed by the divine, the Egun, the ancestors, the Moreto, whatever, I work the grave like I do, and I do it the way I do it because I'm connected. I have been in the graveyard and get ready to do something, and they say, no, bury that over here. I was to do a spell in the cemetery, and they told me, go to the center of the cemetery. Do that work in the center of our grave. Put that, instead of you putting that on the side, put that at the head. When I'm doing candle work, sometimes I can have an intention of doing certain things at a certain time, and they said, no, I want you to put that over here. Well, I was supposed to put 2 candles there. No, put 1 candle here and 1 candle over there. Out of obedience. That's why people are always having a type of testimony. Not because I'm always doing what I thought I was going to do, or thought I was going to do it the way I was going to do it, but because I'm being guided by Egun, by Spirit, by Impungo, by Loa, I end up doing spells on a whole nother level. I'm an extraterrestrial being. And if you are a real teacher of the craft, you need to understand magic, energy, melanin, carbon energy. When you don't hear, and you hear people talking about melanin, they have no idea what melanin is. We melanated people. Bitch, if you understood what melanin is, you would not be living like you live. If you were really getting my teaching, you would not be talking about what you don't have in your hand. Because you can create life in anything. Out of anything. I wouldn't have to tell you about watching what you say. Speak out your mouth. Because you know Ache lives in your throat. That's why you anoint here. Because that's what the vibration is. Your words come out of your throat. Which comes from your voice spots. For those 2 things that are vibrating. That frequency. That's why you have a certain tone, a certain frequency. This is why when people talk about what they ain't doing, what they ain't speaking, All I need to do is my reversal or my stop gossip. It's going to find your vibration. You have a distinct individual vibration. If that word came out of your throat, you're going to get some of this. I don't, with black people always lying about what they don't know, what they ain't practicing, what they ain't doing. I don't worry about none of that. I don't even how to call names. I don't have to. Because you have a distinct vibration. When you talk, your voice box vibrates at a certain tone and rate. And it has a unique frequency. And the ashe that you release to speak against my name. Do you understand me? Because if you understood magic, then you can teach magic. And you can tell people what to do and why not to do. And why they should be concerned about how they think. Because you understand that energy follows thought. And you don't have to speak something out your mouth. You can touch God's anointing with your thoughts. You don't have to put your physical hand on God's anointing. You can put your thoughts. You can send the evil eye. You can give them a look. And touch them with your eyeballs. The energy that's coming out of your eye, your single eye. Yeah, you can touch God's anointing with your look. Well, why they ain't teach? Because they can't teach you what they don't. They can't teach you what they don't know. And some of them are trying to rebox and repackage my information and trying to sound like they came up with it. It's all good. All you got to do is give me credit. And you can use my stuff. Give me credit. You don't even have the intellect, the connection. I'm connected to all 9 realms. There's no way that you can teach the way I teach. There's no way that you can give melanated people the information that I give them. And I do most of my stuff for free. That's why I tell you, if I'm giving away this for free, what do I teach in my classes? That's why you should know I know what the hell I'm talking about. You could sit down and not work with me, order candles, incense, and take my teaching and have a better life. Because I know what I'm talking about. Stop allowing people to mimic people that are real and original. It's nothing wrong with you not being able to afford the real thing. Wear your copy. But acknowledge where you got that copy. Don't be a copycat and try to act like the original. That's where the problem comes in. That's why they have copyright infringements. Because you trying to copy or mimic to the point that you're trying to act like you're the original source. You're not. I don't want you to go back to your elders and your teachers and talk about, oh, you didn't teach me like I learned this from Apostle Ely. Don't call a problem for me. They're not me. And if they did, they need to be watching my videos because they will become a better spiritualist. Because I know shit that ain't in books. It's evident that how I excel, that there's a guiding power behind me. I'm not doing this on my own. Every time I have need of something, manifestation gonna come. There's nothing that I have need of that does not material. This is why I tell people and they think it's arrogance. It's not arrogance, it's confidence. It's facts that I'm basing this on. When you don't do, somebody else gonna do. When you won't give, somebody else, God gonna command the widow to feed the prophet. I'm not gonna argue with you. There's a little lad that's on his way with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread that I'm about to bless and feed the 5,000. You are never gonna stop the provision of God. Ebasa, None de Dios. That's why I don't tell people to change their racism. Whatever you live by, die by, bitch. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to teach melanated people that want to learn what real magic is and why certain people are chosen to teach this. They're going to do it with authority. While you talking about what can't be cured, I'm going to keep on curing people. While you talking about what can't be healed, I'm going to keep on healing people. While you talking about what can't be done, it's already done. Huh? While you talking about the mountain, I done already spoke to it and told it to be cast into the sea at 3 o'clock, to be precise. You ain't got it like that. You don't have that kind of authority. So you got to climb the mountain. Huh? You got to till the soil. I have a very distinct understanding how the divine works. Whether it's divine masculine, divine feminine, or argon energy. Nexus. The abyss. The true dark matter. Pure power. Melanin. And when you don't respect universal laws, you ain't hurt nobody but yourself. When you don't respect your teachers, your elders, you ain't hurt nobody but yourself. That's the main thing that I be trying to tell black people. You're only hurting yourself. You're only setting yourself back. I remember a sign, because I had got to the point I could sign my mama name real good. I ain't want to get in trouble. Then one time, because I wasn't allowed to bring C's home, I tried to change my grade. That's what some of y'all doing. Some of y'all signing my name to stuff that I didn't endorse or authorize. And some of y'all trying to change the grade that I actually gave you. But it has to be verified. And it don't matter what you change your grade on your paper. It's in my teacher's manual and my grading book what your grade really is. And that's what I'm going to turn in to the principal. So you can change your grade and you can grade yourself all you want to. You can give yourself an A+++. But when I go to your ancestors, when I go to your Egun, when I go to your Moretos, when I go to the God that you say you serve, when I go to the goddess you say you serve, I'm going to give them a report. I'm going to tell them the criteria and how you either fail or you did not fail or what the grade was. That's my job, because I'm not going to get in trouble with the divine because you don't want to show up for class. I'm going to say the grades in the book are A's, but I'm failing them because of attendance. Because some of y'all know that you can be failed because of your lack of attendance. Your lack of showing up. You're a good student when you're there, but you don't have the attendance necessary to move on. Because some of y'all trying to say, I've been in ATRs. I've been on my job. You ain't did nothing when you were there. You're going to be graded by your performance and you're going to be graded by your attendance. You got to have both. Did they tell you that in Ifa? Did they tell you that in Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, Adja? Did they tell you that, sir? Did they tell you that, man? Not only do you have to perform well, then you also got to be in attendance. The reason why you're missing certain pop quizzes is because you ain't there. The reason why and guess what? Whether you leave my church or not, whether you never see me again, I want you to understand this. I'm still the teacher. And my grade and my observation is still going to be considered. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to get up close. No matter where you go, the grade that I'm going to give you based off your performance and your attendance is still gonna stick. It's gonna show up in your next misa. It's gonna show up in your next reading. You're never gonna get around me because I am the original teacher. This is why in the natural we call it transcripts. Your transcripts got to be transferred from one school to the next. And my evaluation of you as a disciple, as a student, is going to be acknowledged by the next teacher. So what I got to say about you gonna matter. What I got to say about you in the spirit world gonna matter. What I got to say about you before Ola Damari, the Mighty and Zombie, Grand Met, the Mighty ISIS. It's gonna matter. All of y'all think you can get around certain people. You can get around them scribes. You get around them people with a form of godliness and denying the power thereof. But you can't get around. Your soul can't get around me. I don't know where y'all get this from. Energy cannot be destroyed. And if I'm giving you the teaching, you don't think your ancestors know where you got that from? Absolutely. Oh, you ain't my teacher? I sure ain't. And that's why you can't activate my teachings. You can hear them, you can learn them, but you can't activate them because you are not my student. You're not my disciple. I did not give you authorization to carry out there. That's why when singers use certain other singers' song, they have to get permission. That's why what is her name? Adele told Donald Trump not to use her song in his campaign. That's her that's her right. Ebasa. That's why they were telling saying a cease and desist. Do not use my stuff or any likeness of me in what you got going on. That's all. Y'all think that people got to run you down and get this from you and take that. They ain't got to do none of that. That's their energy. That's their frequency. That's their likeness. That wind beneath your wings, all I got to do is call that wind back. You're going to lose altitude. When I say I'm the wind beneath your wings, only reason why you're soaring as high as you're soaring is because of me. Get froggy. I don't care. I'm be like Bewitch. I'm out this bitch. I'm be from up in your arms so quick, it's gonna make your head spin. That's why y'all think people be out here doing stuff to you. All they doing is pulling. Because you wasn't given that authorization or you disrespected that teaching. So I hope somewhere, somehow that you got some clarity of what a real teacher is and why you shouldn't be out here grading yourself. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility. You're supposed to be learning. You're supposed to be growing. You're supposed to be taking your test and passing your class. You're supposed to be showing up. Nobody told you to get in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria. You the ones decided you want to be on your path. So be present. Spend the necessary money for your books and your curriculum, your tools for you to be able to function in your class. This is why I'm able to teach on all different types of subject matters. I have the authority. That's not my personal opinion. Ask any of my elders. They'll tell you. That's why I don't take no shit off nobody. I don't have to. All that you keep playing with me, I'ma flunk your ass. F failure. And I don't care where you go, who you get a reading from, the door is gonna be shut. That's how powerful the office of a teacher is. Everybody talk about the office of apostle and pastor. The teacher, The teachers stand between you and promotion. They're the guide. They're the instructor. That's why they have so much responsibility. You can't fail a student just because you don't like them. Just because you think they arrogant. If they doing what they're supposed to do, it don't matter. You have to promote them. And yes, certain teachers work harder with other students for different reasons. But that still ain't your responsibility. As long as they're not shortchanging you and doing what they're supposed to be doing by you, you don't have control of how they would interact with other students. You're trying to control too much things. If somebody had taught you better, maybe you would do better. But I don't think you would. Because you like grading yourself. You like telling yourself it's okay. You like telling yourself it's not that big of a deal. He making too much out of it. How do you tell a divine teacher that they're making too much out of something? I want you to see your level of ignorance. You can't hurt me. To Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ, my tribe, social media, living in all the delusion you want to. I can make your life way harder than you could ever make mine. I'm the teacher. I can keep your soul from being promoted from lifetime to lifetime. I will retard your ass and retain you. When I say I'm equipped and too equipped to be whipped, that's coming from a real place. It's not my personal opinion. It's actually what has been mandated over my life. Okay? Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I hope you got a lot out of this live. And if you have to look at the replay, go all the way back to the beginning. Always get it from the beginning so you can follow the line of thought that these lives are. This is for melanated people. This is where we learn real magic, real Ache, real Chi, real Prana. All right? I'm Chief Apostle Samuel Jr., and I'll see y'all later. God bless.